So Alex Krassyuk, the promoter of Oleksandr Usyk, believes that his fighter could carry on for 3 more years at the top level. To quote him directly, he said of Usyk, he's 36 now and he still has 3 years to go at his best. The only issue or concern we have is the health issue, so that could be a problem. If his body is still ready to fight, then I don't think he's going to quit. Let me tell you, I've been dealing with Oleksandr Usyk since his first professional fight in 2013, and we have been very close with each other over the last 10 years. But he is a young kid in his soul and has never experienced retirement or really imagined how hard it is for a fighter to retire from boxing. I just reminded Vitaly Klitschko that he retired from boxing for 4 years and then came back and won the WBC belt. The reason was not for the money, but because he was missing the sport. He was a politician already and a businessman, but he missed it so much, and despite being over 50, he is still in training. The mayor of Kiev still misses it, and when we speak about boxing, I still see the inspiration coming from Vitaly. Okay, those are the words of Alex Krassyuk, the promoter of Oleksandr Usyk. Now, what he seems to be inferring there is that Usyk will have the spirit to carry on for 3 more years. The enthusiasm, he described him as almost being like a child in terms of his enthusiasm. Will his body allow him to carry on for 3 more years? That's the thing. The spirit can be willing. There are so many retired fighters, retired 10, 15 years, who still feel in their spirit that they could fight. But at some point, the body just will not allow it. And you've got some fighters where the body seems to be intact, but the spirit is no longer as strong. The spirit will be contingent on the results he's getting, because at some point, boxing can break your spirit. If you start losing a lot of fights, maybe you get knocked out, so on and so forth, you lose the love for the game. And as far as I'm concerned, that could happen to Oleksandr Usyk. As fantastic a fighter as he is, he's a little man in a land of giants. I mean, we saw in that Daniel Dubois fight a shot that, yeah, it was low, but had it been an inch or two higher, a couple of inches higher, that would have been a legal shot, and Oleksandr Usyk may very well have lost his titles that night. Now, some people might say it wouldn't have hurt as much if it was slightly higher. I'm not so sure about that, because the shot hit him in, I want to say, the bladder area. It didn't hit him in the crown jewels. So is it really going to make that much of a difference if it's 2 inches higher? I think that he still would have been hurt if the punch was 2 inches, 3 inches higher, and probably still would have gone down. Now, Usyk, of course, says that he would have got up if the referee had started counting rather than calling it a low blow, but he would say that. I'm not so sure that he would have got up or could have got up. He was actually shaking when he was on the ground, which is an indication of how uncooperative his body was being after getting hit with that punch. So, the jury's out on that. But as far as I'm concerned, Usyk, in my estimation, if he were to beat Tyson Fury, assuming that fight happens, and continue defending his belts, he's going to lose in the next 3 years, folks. I would be amazed if Usyk were to beat Fury, or let's say the Fury fight happens, doesn't happen, whatever. Let's say he was able to go on for 3 more years and stay undefeated as champion, facing all his mandatories. That would amaze me. That would probably be the most surprising thing I've seen in the heavyweight division for many, many years, if Usyk was able to do that. I don't see it. I think that, 36 years of age? Let me just check his box rec over here. Yeah, 36. 36 years of age. 3 more years takes him up to 39. Can he remain at the top for that long? You got guys coming up who are not only big, they're also athletic and they can punch. And again, if Daniel Dubois can land a body shot like that, there are going to be other guys who can land body shots on Oleksandr Usyk. So yeah, I am not convinced that he could go on for 3 years at the top level. He might feel that way right now in his spirit, or his promoter might feel that way right now. But I think the practical reality, the physical reality of boxing will tell its toll on Oleksandr Usyk at the top level long before that 3-year limit is up. So that's just my take on it. Give me your take in the comment section below. Do you think Oleksandr Usyk could carry on for 3 more years at the top level? Yeah, he can carry on for 3 more years, but will it be at the top level? I don't think neither. I think that him and Tyson Fury's days are numbered, both of them, if they were to hold on to the belts. Now, Tyson Fury knows this. That's why he said that if he beats Usyk, he intends to vacate all the belts immediately. Now, that is not the norm when it comes to undisputed champions. They are normally stripped of belts, maybe one or two. Yes, that happens. But in terms of voluntarily giving them all up, no. That's something that Mayweather used to do, right? He'd win a load of belts and then give them all up and then keep the WBC belt. Why? Because the WBC will give you carte blanche to retire, quote unquote, right? Take long hiatuses, only face mandatories once in a blue moon, sometimes 2 years or whatever the case may be. The WBC will give you carte blanche. That's why Mayweather started doing that. That's why he was holding on to the WBC belt and letting the other belts go. And he would deride the other belts. Those belts don't mean nothing. The WBC's the prestigious one. And of course, a lot of his fans will go along with it. And you have to wonder, how could they possibly say that the WBC is the best belt to keep in terms of prestige? What, because Muhammad Ali had it? Yeah, the WBA was around then. Muhammad Ali had the WBA belt too. Okay, so it's not about the prestige. It's about the fact that Mayweather, because they were fans of his, was saying a particular thing and being sheep-like fanatics, they just went along with whatever he was saying. And it's going to be potentially a similar thing if Tyson Fury manages to beat Usyk and then gives up the belts as he claims he's going to. And that will allow him, or the idea is that would allow him to then avoid some of the more dangerous contenders out there and cherry pick the ones that he thinks he can beat. Maybe the style, maybe he's seen a weakness in them, that kind of thing. But in terms of taking on all comers, Tyson Fury's shown no desire to do that. Yes, he has taken dangerous fights, and this Usyk fight is a dangerous fight, but they're carefully calculated risks. That's what Tyson Fury tends to do, okay? Whereas with Usyk, he's more likely to try and take on everybody. He's more old school like that. When he gets the belts, yeah, I'll fight all my mandatories. Who wants it? And because of that, I think Usyk's going to get beaten sooner rather than later if he, again, overcomes Tyson Fury and carries on as champion. I don't see him lasting 3 years. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll prove to be one of the greatest top 5 heavyweights of all time. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below.